A good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 16th of December, 2024. Coming up the podcast, episode 321, Miss Freeland quits and Trudeau is still a fake. Oh my God, the parliamentary outrage over Miss Freeland leaving her position. Tisk, tisk, tisk. No big loss, but hey, it might, stir the pot and probably get the ball rolling towards a needed federal election. All that more coming to the podcast. Please stick around. Listener viewer discretion is advised because I will swear, make funny faces, and make fun of our Canadian leaders as per. See you in a bit.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthy.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Just like the title card says, Freeland flees. That's right. And, well, hey, no surprise, really. It's about time. And if you like and hear to see, please click like, subscribe, share this content all over social media platforms. Do not be shy, ladies and gentlemen. And a reminder, too, this podcast is all brought to you in part by Veterans for Freedom Network. That's right, stand to. And coming soon, Veterans for Freedom TV. That's right, stay tuned for information on that, too, if you can, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Chrystia Canuck. Hope you've had a pretty good week so far, regardless of the economic turmoil and the political turmoil that we're feeling as we speak. Or as I speak anyway. I just hope everything is going to go great for you all for this holiday season coming up. Things are tough. I get it. But today's news is just fantastic. I was sitting at work around 9 o'clock this morning, and I was dropping off my feed to the cattle there, and I heard this over Rebel News, and I was just flabbergasted thinking, oh my God, why did Chrystia quit? And you've heard me ramble on about her politics and her prowess and the BS that she committed ever since she got into Parliament. Now, to my American listeners and other listeners out there who are not familiar with Canadian politics, of course, we got a prime minister that's a putz. He's a schmuck. He's a phony feminist. He's a fake. He's just all in himself. And probably one of the most underqualified people to be in Parliament, as far as I'm concerned. Underqualified meaning that she's a business journalist. Yeah, she went to an Ivy League school. Who gives a royal shit, to be honest with you. I personally don't care where you go to school. It's how you treat people and how you do the job that you're selected or what you're appointed or what you apply for. I don't care what your qualifications are when it comes to the Ivy League. But her background is basically business journalism. Now, today she quit, where she was supposed to read the fall or the fiscal update for the fall, of course, one day before Parliament stands up to go off for Christmas holidays for 6 weeks. And I guess Friday she wrote this letter. I don't have a copy of the letter. I didn't download it, but I will leave a link to it in my description, ladies and gentlemen. And basically she just talks about how the GST holiday is just a gimmick. The rebates are just a gimmick, and the powers that be won't let her stop the budget or this budget or that budget. Needless to say, she's an underqualified person that Justin Trudeau basically threw under the bus, okay? Like a lot of his other female cabinet ministers. We all remember a few years back what he did to Jody Wilson-Raybould, Canada's first Indigenous Attorney General. She didn't want to play the game with Justin and his SNC Lavalin buddies, so he more or less told her to go away, or here's another cabinet position for you, and she ended up quitting. And I don't blame her. My wife and I, we actually listened to her audiobook in regards to her adventures with Justin and her time in politics, and we kind of put two and two together and figured, yeah, he's a schmuck. Okay. Now there's a lot of people that are outraging and they're panicking and they're worrying. And the past couple of weeks, a lot of the diehard liberal supporters and the liberal backbenchers and liberals alike, I'm not saying every one of them, but there's a few that are still clenching on to their pearls and worried about what Donald Trump said about tariffs, and they're worried about what this person said about Canada. And yet when I look at all these clowns in Parliament, what exactly have they done for Canada? What have they done for Canada? The Liberal brand since 2015 has done nothing but put this country into debt, made a mockery of our security, made a mockery of our military, made a mockery of our veterans, disenfranchised our veterans, disenfranchised our military, disenfranchised a lot of our allies in regards when it came to spending for defense and looking after things as we should. Now, I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're NDP, Les Bloc Québécois. I don't care what you sit on or what side of the fence you're on. Any elected official that willingly puts a country into debt like we are, they don't deserve my respect. Because every time the government puts someone or something into debt, guess who pays for it? Right? Guess who pays for it? You got it. You and I. So this whole thing about Freeland taking one for the team and quitting and doing the honorable thing, okay, fine. I get it. But I had no respect for her at all. Okay? The way she would talk to Canadians when it came to legitimate questions about the budget, when it came to the truckers' convoy, okay, how she was giggling and laughing the whole time about freezing people's bank accounts and, really handing it to those truckers who are standing up for Canadian sovereignty and Canadian rights. Okay. And really, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised how this is going. Now, politically and tactically speaking, she really threw it into Justin. Okay, that's fine. Now, what's he going to have for a finance minister to replace her? Is he going to pick his buddy Carbon Tax Carney to replace him or replace her, him, them, whatever? Anyways, I've had a long day, ladies and gentlemen, but I think you're getting to my point here. I'm getting to my point where it's bullshit. Who cares? I personally don't care. I'm not going to lose any sleep tonight because Miss Freeland quit her position in cabinet. Okay. I'm not going to lose any sleep tonight because Miss Freeland is unhappy. She will leave the job with a great pension. She will leave the position. Now, as far as I know, she's not quitting politics. Okay. But she is not going to be the finance minister nor the deputy prime minister. Okay. Some American friends like to call her the top lieutenant or the top lieutenant. She's not. Okay. She's a deputy prime minister, but I don't think she could deputize or be deputy of anything, to be honest with you, especially her track record when it comes to talking to Canadians and how she's treated Canadians over the past 10 years. Okay. And regardless of how you feel about women in politics, I personally don't care. Okay. Sorry for that little blip there, ladies and gentlemen. That's some brain farts going on here. I don't know what's going on with my machine. My internet connection seems to be faulty all of a sudden. Anyway, like I was saying, she happens to be one of the most laziest people I have seen in Parliament. Next to what's his name, Yara Sachs, who called everyone honkers, the honkies, honk, in lieu of the little Austrian guy with the mustache, that kind of thing. And I'm not really impressed with a lot of the performance of the Liberal Party, probably because, like I've said, they disenfranchise veterans and they take our security for granted, and they basically laugh every time someone speaks out against them. So now I think they're getting a taste of their own medicine because you can see the Liberal Party starting to cave from within, starting to really eat itself out, kind of thing. No pun. But I don't know. You decide. It's just it's a shit show. How else do I explain it, ladies and gentlemen? Right back after this.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, Crusty Canuck Podcast. Once again, my apologies for that little blurb there. I had some internet issues here. Needless to say, I'm not going to lose any sleep. I don't care. I don't expect you to lose any sleep. I don't expect anyone to lose any sleep because the government in this country is nothing but a poop show. Okay. And to some of my diehard liberal listeners out there, I know a lot of you are afraid to speak your mind and speak up and say anything to me because none of you want to debate me because you're afraid I might hurt your feelings. Oh, suck it up. Okay. Talk to me. How do you feel? If any liberals are watching this podcast right now, or by the time this comes on the Tube and the Rumble and to my Podbean, please let me know how you feel. Give me some comments, right? Because in our country, we should love our country before we love our party. And the display that was given to us on a daily basis for the past almost 10 years, it proves that if you don't love the party, you don't walk the party line, this is what's going to happen to you. This is what's going to happen if you don't do this. This is what's going to happen if you don't do that. So a lot of cry bullying been going on. So I would have to say in regards to Miss Freeland, good fucking riddance. There, I said it. Not because you're a woman, right? I've worked with women in the military that have given me some good insight and have showed me wonderful things. Okay. So it's not a gender thing. It's a merit and it's an effort and it's accountability. Accountability. Responsibility. Doing the effing job. That's what it is, right? Doing the effing job. It has nothing to do with your gender. It's your competence. And you've also provided incompetence. So regardless of how you feel or regardless of what's going through your head right now, you are a professional woman. You get a great paycheck. You have a family. So maybe you should concentrate on your family. Now, Sean Fraser has left too, the incompetent housing minister. He wants to focus on liberal politics in Nova Scotia. Good luck, Chuck. Okay. There's maybe about 2 or 3 seats left in Nova Scotia that belong to the Liberal Party out there. So anyhow, a lot of people are leaving the Liberal Party. It's condensing. It's caving in. It's caving in. That's a good thing because there's nothing liberal about the Liberals. They haven't been liberal for a very, very long time. They've been liberal with your money and this guy's money and my money and their money and everyone else's money except their own. And they've given themselves some healthy pay raises too and extra little perks. Okay. So to summarize this whole issue with Miss Freeland, a lot of us really don't care. I don't care. She's gone. Good riddance. Who's going to take her spot? Frankie Bubbles, Mr. Lawyer Extraordinaire? Huh? The 2 Randys? Which Randy is it? Is the cocaine Randy or the Christmas Randy? Who knows? Who the hell cares? Right? I just know this party is starting to fail and people are really starting to wake up and see it for what it really is. Okay. I've engaged somebody on my Threads feed there too. I got a Threads account and once in a while I'll put my podcast up there. I'll say little blurbs and sometimes I'll see and hear something really stupid on there and I just have to engage. Right. So if any of my Threads followers are listening to this, pay attention to some of the comments you might get or that I might get in regards to this podcast. Okay. Yes. So Freeland's gone. She flees. Okay. Now, you can see how the Prime Minister has treated women terribly. Okay. How he's treated some of the decent leaders that he had selected, and they treat him terribly. Okay. He promotes racial divide. He promotes the wokeism. As long as it looks good, then it must be good, right? Well, no, he ruined his chances as far as I'm concerned. And there's a lot of members of that cabinet, male and female alike, that are not qualified to do shit. Because look at the platforms they have presented. Look at the efforts they have made when it comes to security, the immigration file, the financial files, the social files, okay? He's a PDFer. There are a lot of PDFers in there. That's just my assumption, though, okay? But when you look at the brass tacks of it all, the foundation has cracked. It's falling in. Everything he is doing is caving in. And Miss Freeland, okay, she's probably got enough money and enough connections with her kissing up the WEF conglomerate. You know, she'll live a very, very happy and comfortable life. Of course, at the expenses of me and you. Them's the breaks in federal politics, ladies and gentlemen. But, we'll just have to wait and see.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Just a reminder, too, ladies and gentlemen, if you like and hear you see, please click like and subscribe. Share this content all over your social media platforms. Please give me a thumbs up, comments, all that kind of stuff, too. And if you feel like donating, please consider donating. Links will be in the description. Donate at your leisure, too. I'm going to try to get a live stream up here probably before Christmas. If not, then my apologies. I've had a really busy work week. I'm usually home around 4:30, sometimes 5, mostly just after 5. I let my dogs out, play with my kitty for a little bit, make dinner for my wife and I, and then I just chill. And I'm as motivated as, well, you know what? Boom. My head is just so overrun with BS. I just need to vent. So my apologies for being lackadaisical when it comes to making this podcast. I did promise to do 3 episodes a week. I'm trying to keep that up to the best of my ability. However, sometimes my work schedule gets in the way and paying my bills has a priority. Now, if I was to receive donations and get a constant flow of cash from you wonderful people, that would help me a big deal too. I'm not going to demand it, but that would help me along the way, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll leave that in the air there for you. All right. Anyway, carrying on with this episode 321. Freeland quits and Trudeau is still a fake. And nothing's going to change with that too. So regardless of all the wankers out there like Jagmeet Singh and his supporters saying that, oh, now Trudeau should retire and step down and quit and resign, they're just holding on for their pensions, ladies and gentlemen. And this past year in our politics has proven where the priorities really are. It's all back in their wallets and how they want to protect and keep their perks and keep their privileges while the rest of us have to struggle to keep things going. Okay. So if they do call an election, let's hope they do it in February too. Just to make sure Mr. Jagmeet Singh gets his pension, right? Got to make sure that's legitimate. Oh my God, some pathetic individuals out there. But needless to say, this holiday season, in a way, it's kind of like a Christmas present. Someone's realizing that she can't take part in the charade anymore, or the facade, or the facade, as my British friends say, the facade, right? Where they can't tolerate the shit anymore, and they just got to go. Okay. So don't feel sorry for any politician that's left the Liberal cabinet. Don't. Okay. I really don't feel sorry for any politician that leaves the cabinet. Okay. But the governance in this country, there's too much government as it is. Way too much government as we speak. Okay. And we got to work on procuring proper defense. We got to work on our borders. We got to work on the finances that keep Canadians going and having a good paycheck and having good food in their fridge on a regular basis. That's just me, though. My libertarian side's coming out here now, too. Let people be, live and let live, all that good stuff. Don't hit people, take their stuff. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. Don't covet thy neighbor's wife or boyfriend or whatever you're into, okay? But just keep that in mind, okay? This holiday season, let us hope there are better things coming our way, okay? Let's just hope there's a lot of better things coming our way because we sure as hell do work for it, ladies and gentlemen. I personally know some musicians and some actors and some other writers out there that are struggling to get ahead. They're getting doors closed in their faces because they don't like their style or someone doesn't like their size, right? But who cares? And I work with guys who have been in the patch. I work with guys who have worked on trucks and loaders, and things are coming together, but not together. It's there, but just don't quit, folks. Don't give up. Right? There was a time in my life where I wanted to give up, and I still reflect on those days sometimes. There's days where I would think about the darkness, and I'd think about the horrors, and I'd think about the nightmares, and I'd think about the adventures I had. But luckily, I have an individual in my life by the name of my wife. I'm not going to mention her name. I'm going to protect her privacy, but she's been there for me. And I've had some good friends and some good mentors step up for me too in my days and my hours of darkness. So don't give up, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of how hard it's going to be. Do not, because there is a light at the end of this manufactured darkness, and we will fucking let it shine, period. Anyhow, before I get all sentimental and a little too emotional out there for you all, I don't care if she quits. Now, I wonder who's going to quit shortly after, because they're going to step down for Christmas. So who knows what kind of drama is going to happen over the Christmas holiday. But it just seems convenient that this fiscal report was supposed to be done a month ago. And based on the letter of resignation that Miss Freeland has said, she comes across as some kind of victim, but she's not a victim because she was side by side with the prime minister the whole time he made some really stupid decisions. And he was side by side the whole party when they all made some stupid decisions. And she also fucking knows too who those 11 culprits are that have colluded or have been infiltrated, foreign interference per se, eh? Interesting. Think about that. What's in the works in the future, ladies and gentlemen? Time will tell. Right? We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, not wait too long. But there is a lot of privileges and there's some privy that some of these politicians have to take an oath to. But there might be an oopsie somewhere in the future. Let's hope.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And just one more reminder there, ladies and gentlemen, if you like to hear you see, click like, subscribe, share this podcast all over your social media platforms. Do not be shy to, and I don't care where you're watching from or who you're associated with, whatever. If you got something to say, give me a comment, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, say hello, whatever. All my contact information is in my description as well. So if you want to write me a letter, whenever our postal service gets up and running, please write me a letter, write me a card, whatever. Send me some Gucci shit. Send me some free stuff. I don't care. All mail is welcome too. I appreciate a good piece of snail mail once in a while. So don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Contact me. If you see this podcast on the tube or in Rumble, comment, give me a thumbs up. Please don't try to sell me anything. I'm not in the mood to purchase any more false subscribers or false bots or any services. If you get the urge you want to do that, don't do it because I'll just delete you. It's that simple. I won't give you the time of day. But if you want to say hello, how's it going? How are you? I like your show. I don't like your show. You want to engage me in a good conversation? By all means, let me know. It helps the algorithm. We're facing some really nasty censorship that might come in the immediate future. So it takes people like you out there to keep these things alive by passing it around, sharing it, commenting on it. Let's the algorithm know that Canadian voices matter, and you matter too, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever doubt that. So, pardon my guess here. Like I said, I had a long day, so it's been interesting at work. But that's the thing. I mentioned the word work. How much work has the Liberal Party done for this country? I mean, actual work. Physically demanding, physically giving, putting your brain and putting your body in the same working order to get something done. Not too well. But, Ms. Freeland is an example of how Justin really treats the women in his cabinet, especially the people that have been loyal to him. Needless to say, who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of days. Stay tuned to the news if you can, see what's happening. But I'm just going to leave it there for now because, like I said, I'm not going to lose any sleep because Ms. Freeland is gone, whatever. I'm going to play a video here from Pierre Poilievre, and I want you ladies and gentlemen to decide on your own. He's got something to say. And I do like Poilievre, but time will tell once he gets in as PM. Who knows what's going to happen? What's he going to do? What's he going to say? Is he going to pay things off? We'll see. But like I said, just watch this. I'll keep the captions up too if you have trouble hearing, ladies and gentlemen. And you decide, folks. And just a reminder too, folks, when she was appointed as finance minister, her initial plan was to spend and spend and spend, just like Justin's plan was to spend and spend and spend. And remember, the budget will balance itself. Oh my. Now they're coming to reap what they sow. Right?
Two Randys, the gentleman who had to resign because he falsely claimed he was Indigenous, falsely claimed that there were more than one Randy when it was all him and all in his head. And he is now technically our finance minister as we speak. We don't know for sure, though, if he'll still be finance minister in 3.5 hours when the scheduled fall economic update is expected to land. That update, by the way, is currently covered by a black blanket underneath the table. No one is allowed to look at it, even though journalists and parliamentarians showed up to read it in briefing rooms to this day, earlier today. So here we are. Everything is spiraling out of control spending.
My apologies, folks. I didn't realize that I had the volume off. Thank God for subtitles. And we'll carry on.
And bureaucracy has doubled housing costs, with 1,400 homeless encampments have taking over Ontario alone. Out of control immigration has led to refugee camps opening in suburban Canada. And then we have 500,000 people in the country illegally, according to government estimates. Out of control crime overtakes our once tranquil streets, with gun crime having doubled. Out of control drugs and disorder add to the chaos, with 47,000 of our people dead of overdoses since Trudeau legalized drug laws, stopped enforcing them, and allowed limitless sums of fentanyl ingredients into our country. Out of control inflation has followed out of control money printing, which has sent out of control demand to our food banks, which are running out of food altogether. Out of control spending has doubled our national debt, boosted interest rates, and threatened our social programs. And it's not just Freeland who thinks this prime minister is out of control. Now, Housing Minister Sean Fraser has resigned in the middle of a housing crisis. The minister is resigning, the finance minister is resigning in the middle of an economic crisis, and a fifth of his Liberal caucus has lost confidence in him. Justin Trudeau has lost control, and yet he clings to power. We cannot accept this kind of chaos, division, weakness while we're staring down the barrel of a 25% tariff from our biggest trading partner and closest ally, which, by the way, is headed by a newly elected president with a strong and fresh mandate, a man who can spot weakness from a mile away. Ms. Freeland has been Mr. Trudeau's most trusted minister now for a decade. For 9 years, she knows him better than anyone, and she knows that he's out of control. She said this: our country faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including the threat of a 25% tariff. We need to take that threat extremely seriously. That means we have to keep our fiscal firepower dry today, so we have the reserves we may need for a coming tariff war. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks, which we can ill afford, and which makes Canadians doubt that we recognize the gravity of the moment. I know Canadians would recognize and respect such an approach.
See, when she talks about political gimmicks we can ill afford, then why was she the first one there to wave the flag about a GST holiday? Okay. See, that's the thing. And that GST holiday, as if.
They know we are working for them. They know when we are working for them, and they know when we are working for ourselves. Inevitably, our time in government will come to an end. Will come to an end. She said, and I quote, and it is coming to an end because we simply cannot go on like this. And it is up to Jagmeet Singh now to make that realization. Mr. Trudeau is being held in office by one man, Jagmeet Singh. A fifth of Liberal MPs have written a letter for him to resign. His deputy prime minister has walked out on him. His housing minister has quit. That on top of numerous other female ministers who stormed out after his appalling mistreatment and abuse and dishonesty towards them. 80% of Canadians have lost confidence in this prime minister. So why is Jagmeet Singh making the entire country wait for him to get his pension? That is the question.
Like I said, folks, it's all about the pension and the perks, right? Minimal effort. Hang on till you get the pension. Yeah. No, not selfish at all, right?
Today, to patriotic Liberals across the country, my message is this. You supported this government in good faith because you thought it was the right thing for the country. And you are good and decent patriotic people who've been let down by a prime minister and his top advisor, Mr. Carney, who have betrayed Ms. Freeland and you. Carney and Trudeau, the backroom boys, have taken the Liberal Party away from anything it used to stand for. What I'm calling for is let's bring home the common sense consensus of Liberals who believed in liberty, Conservatives who believed in conserving it, fiscal responsibility, compassion for our neighbors. These are the shared common values that will bind up our nation's wounds and bring us back together. Now is the time for a carbon tax election to turn the decision away from me or Mr. Trudeau or Mr. Singh or Mr. Carney and put it in the hands of the people. I know that they will make the right decision. Let's bring it home.
Exactly. Let's stop worrying about who's calling the shots and bring in a proper election. Okay, I'll agree with Mr. Poilievre on that for sure. Anyhow, I'm at the 32-minute mark here, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my apologies for the audio blurb there I've had and some of the early issues I had earlier in the episode. Like I said, my connection was all screwed up. But I'm just going to leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fret over it. Obviously, light's coming through this darkness, and we're going to let it shine. That simple. Anyhow, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 16th of December, 2024. I wish good things for you all out there, as always, ladies and gentlemen. I will try to probably get a Vids on the Fly episode up probably before the weekend if I can. Maybe another episode. We'll see how my schedule is working. Like I said, there's no excuses. I'm going to try to get 3 episodes up a week if I can. I'd like to do this every day, but I need, I got to pay my bills. So if you want to donate, ladies and gentlemen, please consider donating. Give me a hand to get ahead in this game. And I'll do my best to get more episodes up for you in a timely manner. Anyhow, it is Christmas season, so do what you can. Help each other out in these trying times. Don't be shy. If you need a hand, reach out to me. If you know somebody who needs a hand, reach out to them. Just do your best to be courteous, the best of your abilities, right? I'm going to put a couple of songs to this episode too. KMFDM's Mouth or a Drug for War. A drug against war. Sorry, I had a brain fart. See, I'm tired. Probably one of the 90s best influential industrial bands out there too. KMFDM, Drug Against War. Great song, great video too. So I'll leave a link to that too. And another great tune, another Motorhead song, ladies and gentlemen. It's just called Stand. I'm sorry, I put Motorhead up too many times, but they're one of my favorite metal bands. And it's just a great song. What else can I say? It's a good rock and roll song, good metal tune. It's about standing up for what's right and doing your thing. Anyhow, like I said, I'm in Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 16th of December, 2024, ladies and gentlemen. I wish good things for you all out there. Keep your wits about you. It's getting colder out here in the West. So make sure you got your toques and you got your gloves and you got your chapstick. And just be careful on the roads out there too. And like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Smack a Liberal cabinet member today. Go on. Spank it. Spank it. Spank it.